Okay, this is Isaac Berry asking my dad, Brian Berry, what it was like growing up without internet. So, to start off, what was your biggest struggle having no internet access?
For us growing up in my age group, I'm 46, almost 47 years old. We didn't have a struggle not having the internet. We didn't know anything about it, so there was no loss there.
Alright. What was your alternative source for getting the new knowledge you had to acquire?
Watching the news, um, reading it in books, or asking someone who already knew what I needed to know.
Alright. How did you cope with having to use this source and not the internet?
Sometimes it was hard because you had to go to multiple sources, which could have taken hours or sometimes days.
Alright. What place did you go to the most to get any information you needed?
I think I asked my mom more than anywhere else.
Interesting. Are there any other places or things you used to get said information from?
Say that again.
Are there any other places or things you used to get said information from?
Sometimes you ask your friends or my brothers and sisters.
Alright. Without internet, what did you do for fun?
We, my group of friends that I hung out with, we would hang out, go to the park, um, play baseball in the backyard.
Sounds like fun. Out of these things, what was your favorite thing to do?
Playing baseball until I was 13, 14, and then after that, hanging out with my friends.
Cool. What was your most common entertainment?
As an older teenager, hanging out, going to the park.
If any, what electronics did you have access to?
Radio, TV.
That's it.
That's it.
Without having the internet, did you spend more time inside or outside?
For me, because I was an only child and most of my friends lived on the other side of town, it's probably 50-50.
How did you get a hold of people or talk to people on short notice?
On this thing people called the landline telephone.
How did you get recipes for cooking?
My mom, she knew how to cook and bake everything.
Nice. If at all possible, how did you listen to music?
Radio.
How did you hear about any new news in your area or in the United States or in other countries?
On the radio and the television.
Is the world, in your opinion, better or worse now having the internet?
I would have to say better. Um, any kind of emergencies or anything that happens, you almost can find out immediately.
Right. Is work more easy or harder with the internet?
Easier. If you run into a problem, all you have to do is Google or YouTube it, and it shows you how to fix it.
Right. What is your view on schooling and the involvement of internet?
I'd have to say that my kids are probably smarter than I am, or smarter than I was at their age.
How did you navigate from place to place without the internet?
You looked at a map on a piece of paper, or you followed directions that somebody gave you.
What was easier when you didn't have internet, if anything?
I can't think of anything that would have been easier. Most of the time we were hanging out outside and going to the park, and the internet doesn't really make that easier.
Right. And if there was one thing that you could choose to use the internet for when you were growing up, what would it be?
I would have to say probably school. I struggled with English, and I think that having the internet would have made it a lot easier. I learned a lot better doing it on my own than trying to follow directions or listening to what someone tells me.
Right. Well, thank you for letting me interview you.
No problem, anytime.